Hi everyone. Today's video is going to be really different because instead of walking you around my garden and showing you everything that is beautiful and perfect and blooming, I'm going to be very candid and transparent with you and show you how my garden really looks in the fall as we're getting closer to winter. I guess what I'm trying to say is gardens are not always perfect, and I just want to show you that mine isn't either. I get a lot of comments saying your garden looks so lush and it's still blooming and it looks so beautiful, and thank you so much. But as a content creator, I have the luxury of only showing you what looks good. So today it's going to be a little bit different because I do have some major fails in my garden right now, some major disappointments, and things are kind of like starting to die and they're just not doing so good. So let me take you around and show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So as we approach the end of October and beginning of November, here's some things in my garden that look really nice. My vincas are still blooming, although I admit they're on their way out. My marigolds, oh look, I'm starting to paint my chair. I have different color shades of paint on there, and I'm thinking I might be going with that turquoise color. But as you can see, my marigolds are kind of getting leggy, and I'm doing my best to keep diseases off them. So yeah, I'm showing you all the good stuff, the pretty things in my garden. My vinca, such a great performer this year. It's gonna be really sad to see it go. And my mums are about to bloom. You know, whenever you go to the big box store and you get mums, you should always get mums that just have little buds on them, because in that way they'll last a lot longer for you. If you get mums that are already blooming, they're not gonna last that long. Okay, so my narrow space vegetable garden, can we just say pathetic? And I'm just getting ready to take it down and put the pots away. I do this every year, but it's kind of sad to see it go. I mean, there's some peppers over there and everything, but for the most part, it's pretty much done. I can grow some, look at that, pathetic pepper. I will probably save these seeds for next year's okra, letting those go to seeds. So yeah, it's kind of done. I have a few more peppers here. I can take those off and harvest them and cook with them, but it's done. And like I said, I go through these stages every year, but of course if I was doing a garden tour, I probably wouldn't show you that, but I am today, because I promised to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there is little Lucky, my sweet cat. I love these plants. Oh, what's it called? I have such a bad memory, but it's getting nice and big. Not a yucca, a cordyline, that's what it is. And next spring, my pink jasmine is gonna look so beautiful. Cabbage this worms were so bad. I tried to grow broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and because I don't spray in my garden, what I have to do is just come out here and hand pick off all those cabbage worms. Oh, it's coming back now, so I guess I removed most of them. But yeah, that's kind of been hard. That has definitely been a challenge, and I wouldn't say this is a beautiful area in my garden by any means. Look at little Tommy on the bench. He's so sweet. Beautiful vincas. My proven winners, Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, have done really good, but I'm going to be honest with you. I really like the wave petunias better, so I'm not sure I'll grow these again next year. Everybody raves about the proven winner Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, but if you've never grown wave to petunia, I highly recommend those for next spring. My bougainvillea is so beautiful. More vinca flowering. Look at that, it's just so pretty. This was definitely a good thing that I grew, and these beautiful, they're not flowers, these are called bracts, they're colored leaves. The flowers are actually these tiny little things in the center. A lot of people don't know that about bougainvillea. They're called bracts. Okay, now I'm going to show you the worst fail in my garden, and I'm also going to need your help and advice. Oh, check it out. I still have Tithonia, Mexican sunflowers. This just came back from seed. Very cool, right? So unexpected that I would get more Mexican sunflowers. Okay, now I'm going to show you the biggest fail in my garden. And this is kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, I always feel when life hands you lemons, make lemonade, or when one door closes, another door opens. So I'm going to consider this a learning experience, and maybe something better will come out of it. You know my big archway on this cattle panel? I was growing a passion flower vine. It completely died and it looks absolutely horrible. It's right above me and I'm going to show you right now. That is my passion flower vine. It completely died and I'm heartbroken. Look at that. So during the heat wave, I kept watering it. Well, what happened was the roots, it just rotted in the dirt. So the more I was watering it, I was just destroying it and causing more harm. Look at that. I could take it down now. But before I took it down, I just wanted to show you. But after giving this a lot of thought, I really got over my sadness because passion flower vines, they grow on new growth. And what I was doing was constantly pruning it because these things grow massive. I was constantly pruning it to keep it shaped. And what I was doing was cutting off the new flowers. That's why it hardly ever bloomed. And I probably got maybe 2 pieces of fruit. So in a way, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise because that gives me the chance now to grow something new. So I would love to know what you think I should grow. An Eden climbing rose, another bougainvillea, a jasmine, a black-eyed Susan vine. I think I'm going to stay away from the morning glory, but I would love to know your thoughts. It gets full sun. So yeah, come spring, I'm definitely going to replace that with something new. It's really going to be sad to see it go, but I'm looking forward to something new. Okay, here's something that I'm super happy with in my garden. Oh, I didn't clean up that mess down there. I was pruning my butterfly bush and I just threw them down there. See, I guess I should have cleaned that up before I made this video. But again, I'm just keeping it real. I'm really happy with my succulent barrel. I replaced the succulents that hated the heat. And I put some agaves in here, and we got some little weeds here. Look at how big they're getting. Now this moss rose I loved, but now it's not blooming, so it looks doesn't look too good. But when it blooms, it sure is pretty. But look, I am so happy with my fountain garden. The morning glory reached the top of the arbor, and I couldn't be more pleased. I think it's beautiful. I just love the wispiness of the morning glory vine. That's why I didn't want to grow another morning glory where that passion flower vine is. I think morning glories here are plenty and definitely enough. Oh, those cabbage worms are attacking everything in my garden. They've been horrible. They just decimate. If they are cabbage worms, I'm not sure. But oh well, a garden is never perfect, right? But I'm really happy with this area. I'm getting ready to take out all my annuals here and maybe plant some spring bulbs. It's getting to be that time of year. I'm really happy with all of my succulents and cacti in this area. These are just 3 benches that I got from a bus station, and I just used them stacked, a good space saver, as my propagation station. Okay, what I'm really disappointed with was the sedum autumn joy. It completely flopped, but that's okay because next year I'm going to put a cage around it so it'll look much more sturdy and have a better showing of the flowers. But that's how we learn, right? My Gara was definitely a hit this year. I can't believe it's still blooming. I'm getting ready to just cut all this back, but then every time I come out in my garden, it's blooming again. So what I'll do to the Sedum Autumn Joy is I'll cut these off and put them in a vase, and then I'll put something else in here, or maybe I'll just let it grow next year because it always grows. The new growth starts down here. See? This is already new growth coming up. So yeah, my garden's kind of messy right now. The leaves are falling, and I didn't come out here and clean things up before I turned my camera on, but I just figured I'd keep it real. I love the sweet potato vine. I'll definitely grow this again next year. But of course, it's probably on its way out. The temperatures are starting to get cold. My verbena came up 3 times this year. I cut it all the way back down to the roots after it was done blooming, and then it pops back up. This was non-stop. I don't know if it's my Garden Zone 9B or the soil or what, but this is the 3rd flush of flowers I got from my verbena. And this just all grew from seed. What I learned this year is dahlias, for my area anyway, they don't like full sun. They do so much better when they do receive a little bit of shade. So next year I will plant dahlias where they are now. They did really good in this spot. A little bit of shade. Sometimes those labels in the garden centers, they're kind of generic. You just have to realize that if they say full sun, well, that may not necessarily be full sun for your area. So just take that into consideration. And my tropical milkweed, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be so sad to see this go. It's still blooming, and it's still attracting butterflies and bees. But here's something so interesting I want to show you. It's bad and ugly, but at the same time good. Remember all those cabbage worms I was telling you about? Well, they decimated this marigold, and I saw them doing it, but I didn't stop them. I thought it was super fun to watch them. And now look they made all these little cocoons. And it's been so much fun for me to watch them morph into, well, they're going to be butterflies, those little white butterflies, but I could see through their cocoons. So I think this has been really fun and interesting. So I sacrificed my marigold plants for the little white butterflies. And I have another sweet potato vine right here. Although I did plant some African daisies, and those just kind of didn't do too good. Maybe I overwatered them. I have no idea. But, you know, things don't always go as planned in the garden. But that's how we learn. It just makes us better gardeners when we make mistakes and have failures. Because now I know what I will plant next year for sure and what I won't. I recently made a video where I planted this pink cordyline for a thriller and then filler and spiller, and it's doing really good. I'm happy I planted this. It really likes the spot. And some mums, and my creeping Jenny I had to trim back. It just got so big, but look there's all kinds of new growth. So I would say planting the pink cordyline here definitely was a garden success. Lots of successes in my garden, for sure. And my passion flower vine definitely does not look good. So as you can see, no garden is perfect. My garden is a mess today, and I wanted to show you anyway. Call me crazy. Let me know if you like this style of video, just keeping it real, being candid, and not trying too hard. This is just life in the garden, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And please let me know what I should grow in place of that passion flower vine. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day in your garden too, even if it's a mess. Bye.